Welcome, gents. 10 solid reasons why Sigma males are not pushovers. In a world that often rewards the loudest voices and pushes people into roles they may not want, Sigma males stand out as quiet powerhouses. They don't seek to be the center of attention, nor do they follow traditional expectations. Instead, they move on their own terms, choosing to live by a personal code rather than by society's standards. Being a Sigma male isn't just about being independent or outside the box. It's about understanding yourself so well that others' opinions rarely shake you. This mindset can be freeing and empowering, but it also means you'll occasionally be misunderstood or even underestimated. Yet it's precisely this uniqueness that gives Sigma males their resilience. Their strength lies in not needing validation, recognition, or status to feel whole. They thrive on self-awareness, adaptability, and a quiet resolve. Here are 10 reasons why Sigma males cannot be easily pushed around or controlled. Each trait is a reminder of why living true to yourself is one of the strongest stances you can take in a world that often tries to pull people in every direction but their own. So gentlemen, stick around with me until we get to the very end, and don't forget to share your thoughts in the comments. Number 10. Refuses to take up unsolicited causes. Sigma males have a unique knack for picking their battles, and they're absolutely immune to the pressure of jumping on every trendy cause. They know the power of a well-chosen no, and it's this refusal to take up every unsolicited mission that keeps them strong and focused. When a Sigma male hears someone say, "You must support this cause," his mind instantly asks, "Must I, though?" Instead of feeling compelled to join every campaign or raise awareness for every new issue, he evaluates carefully, asking himself if this aligns with his own principles. And if it doesn't, he politely declines, often baffling people who assume that everyone should care equally about whatever's trending. It's not that Sigma males lack empathy or don't want to make a difference. They simply recognize that time, energy, and emotional investment are limited resources. Supporting every cause would quickly drain them, and they know that. They're selective, preferring to commit to a few things deeply rather than stretching themselves thin. This way, they can make a meaningful impact where it actually matters to them, without the exhaustion of trying to save everyone. Moreover, Sigma males understand that blindly following others, even with the best intentions, can lead to a loss of individuality. They don't see the need to go along with the crowd to be validated. To them, self-respect is built by choosing their path, not by conforming to everyone else's expectations. So the next time a Sigma male gets a guilt trip for not joining the latest crusade, he's probably just smiling and thinking, "I'll pass, thanks." It's not apathy, it's a wise sense of self-preservation. Number 9. Naturally resistant to identity-based persuasion. Sigma males are practically immune to identity-based persuasion. Why? Because they simply don't care about being part of a group. Appeals to team spirit or "we're all in this together" don't exactly make them jump out of their seat. For a Sigma male, belonging to a crowd isn't what makes him feel seen or secure. Instead, he's comfortable standing alone, so shared identity slogans have about as much effect on him as a motivational poster in a dentist's office. It's not that Sigma males lack loyalty or don't respect others' affiliations. It's that they see themselves as individuals first, not as members of some predefined group. If someone tries to convince a Sigma male by saying, "Come on, we all have to support this, it's what we do," he'll likely raise an eyebrow and ask, "Who's we?" He doesn't respond to pressure based on shared labels because, to him, a label is just that, a label. It's not his reason for being, and it certainly doesn't dictate his choices. This natural resistance to identity-based persuasion makes it nearly impossible to control him with appeals to solidarity, tribe, or team. While others may feel pressured to join in for the sake of community, the Sigma male is immune to the pull. He'll only get involved in something if it genuinely aligns with his values and interests, not because it's what people like him should do. So while everyone else is high-fiving over their shared labels, the Sigma male is sitting back with a smirk, perfectly content to let the crowd do its thing. He isn't rude about it, he just knows who he is without needing a group's approval. Number 8. Emotional intelligence, without the display. Sigma males are emotionally intelligent without putting on a show about it. You won't catch them making dramatic speeches about their feelings or sharing their truth in loud public displays. They know how they feel, understand why they feel it, and honestly, that's enough for them. This quiet confidence in their own emotions keeps them balanced and, importantly, stops others from messing with their heads. Because they don't wear their hearts on their sleeves, Sigma males are naturally tough to manipulate emotionally. Attempts to provoke, guilt trip, or flatter them usually fall flat. If someone tries to rile them up, expecting an instant reaction, they're likely to get a raised eyebrow and a calm, "Is that supposed to bother me?" Sigma males don't rush to react. They think things through. They're masters of the pause, giving themselves time to assess before deciding how to respond, if at all. It's not that they're emotionless or unfeeling, they're just not in the business of broadcasting their feelings. While others may get caught up in emotional whirlwinds, the Sigma male is anchored. He knows his emotions deeply but handles them privately, which keeps him from being an easy target for manipulation. People who try to play on his emotions quickly find out that it's like trying to stir a rock. So when someone comes along trying to push the Sigma male's buttons, they're often met with a calm, unreadable expression. Inside, he's fully aware of what's happening and exactly how he feels about it. But on the outside, pure poker face. And that's what makes him unshakable. His emotional intelligence is a quiet, private strength that doesn't need applause or approval. It just keeps him steady no matter what. Number 7, confidence without ego. Sigma. Males have a rare kind of confidence, the quiet kind that doesn't need applause, trophies, or a LinkedIn post to prove itself. They're not out there declaring, "I'm the best," and they don't need constant backpats to feel good about who they are. They know their worth, plain and simple, and they carry themselves with a calm assurance that doesn't need validation from the crowd. This kind of internal confidence is solid, and because it's rooted deeply within, it's almost impossible to shake. This lack of ego makes Sigma males tough to manipulate. Most people can be pulled around by their ego. Flatter them, they follow. Criticize them, they crumble. But the Sigma male isn't wired that way. Shower him with praise, and he'll give a polite nod, maybe even a thanks. Criticize him, and he'll consider whether the feedback is worth a second thought. Either way, he's not losing sleep over what others think. Their grounded confidence also means they don't have to broadcast their achievements or prove themselves constantly. In fact, they'd rather quietly keep their wins to themselves than brag about them. So anyone trying to play ego games with a Sigma male will quickly learn it's like pushing against a wall. Try to butter him up and he'll see right through it. Attempt to put him down and he won't flinch. The beauty of this confidence is that it's unbreakable. Without an ego in the mix, Sigma males are free to think clearly, act genuinely, and stay unbothered by attempts to control or impress them. They don't need outside recognition to know who they are, and that quiet assurance makes them rock solid in a world full of fragile egos. Thank you for being a valued subscriber, gents. Your ongoing support is greatly appreciated and motivates us to continue creating meaningful content. We truly value your engagement. Number 6. Immune to herd optimism and fear. Sigma males are practically immune to herd mentality, whether it's the latest social movement, a new buzzword, or the wave of collective panic sweeping through the crowd. If everyone's suddenly obsessed with a trend, you'll probably find the Sigma male calmly watching from the sidelines, wondering what all the fuss is about. This natural skepticism means that while others might get swept up in the energy of the moment, the Sigma male stays rooted, calmly assessing the situation with his own eyes and mind. It's not that he's out to be a contrarian or that he doesn't care about big ideas, he just won't jump on a bandwagon simply because it's trending. Hype cycles and collective fears don't appeal to him. He knows how quickly the crowd can flip. Today's hero is tomorrow's villain, and last year's biggest cause is next year's forgotten trend. To a Sigma male, this back and forth doesn't make sense. He prefers to invest his energy in things that truly align with his values, regardless of their popularity. Because he's immune to the highs and lows of public sentiment, he's incredibly hard to influence through groupthink. If everyone's saying, "This is the only way," The Sigma male is the one asking, "Is it really?" He questions the status quo without hesitation, making him an unreliable target for emotional appeals or fear-based arguments. People who try to sway him using popular sentiment are often surprised when he simply shrugs and opts out. His resistance to herd optimism and fear keeps him grounded, unshaken by the ebb and flow of public opinion. It's a strength that allows him to make decisions based on his own understanding, not the latest trend or crisis, and that's exactly why he can't be pushed around. Number 5. Innate ability to disregard the norms that don't serve them. Sigma males have a unique ability to disregard norms that don't serve them. While most people follow rules, traditions, and social expectations without much thought, the Sigma male has a built-in filter. He doesn't adopt habits or follow customs just because everyone does it. Instead, he's selective, picking up only those practices that align with his own values and leaving the rest by the wayside. This isn't some act of rebellion. It's just how he's wired. If a Sigma male sees a rule or expectation that doesn't make sense or benefit him in any way, he'll simply choose not to follow it. No dramatic announcement required. Peer pressure rolls off him because he doesn't feel the need to fit in or impress others by following their playbook. Whether it's something as simple as skipping an awkward team-building event or choosing an unconventional career path, he's perfectly comfortable making choices based on his own judgment. This selective approach makes it nearly impossible to control him through social norms or traditional tactics. Appeals to do it because everyone does will likely get you a blank stare, as he has no interest in blending in for its own sake. Group expectations, peer pressure, and even tried-and-true wisdom have little effect on him unless they hold up under his personal scrutiny. Ultimately, a Sigma male's life is governed by his own internal compass, not by a checklist of societal standards. He's guided by principles he's chosen consciously, and anything that doesn't align gets left behind. This independence gives him the freedom to chart his own path and makes him a particularly tough person to push around. He's not out to impress anyone by playing by the rules. He's just living on his terms, and that's what keeps him steady and unshakable. Number 4. Resourceful without the spotlight. Sigma males are masters of being resourceful without anyone noticing. They're like the stealthy ninja of the social world, quiet, efficient, and always a step ahead, but you wouldn't know it by just looking at them. While others may be out there flaunting their connections, resources, or expertise, the Sigma male is gathering what he needs without making a peep. Need a solution to a problem? He's already got it. Want to make a move in your career or personal life? He's already thought of that too. And the best part? No one saw it coming. This low-profile approach makes Sigma males surprisingly effective. They don't need the spotlight to get things done. In fact, they prefer it that way. They don't need to advertise their abilities, boast about their network, or post every achievement on social media. While others are busy making noise to show off what they can do, the Sigma male is quietly laying the groundwork for success, usually without anyone noticing. When it comes time for him to act, though, he's already ahead of the curve. This quiet competence can often lead to Sigma males being underestimated. People might assume they're not as capable because they don't constantly flaunt their skills or resources, but that's exactly what makes them hard to control. Others might overlook them, thinking they're not a threat, only to be blindsided when they pull off something impressive. Because Sigma males don't draw attention to themselves, their power lies in the element of surprise. When it's time to show up and deliver, they do so in a way that others simply didn't expect, making them nearly impossible to manipulate or outmaneuver. Number 3. Defies reciprocity. Pressures. Sigma males have a unique superpower. They can dodge the social pressure to reciprocate favors or compliments without so much as breaking a sweat. While most people feel an internal obligation to return a favor or offer a compliment back when it's given, Sigma males aren't governed by this unspoken rulebook. They don't feel the need to pay it forward just because someone did something nice for them. If someone compliments them, they'll thank them, of course, but they don't feel compelled to return the favor or start an emotional back and forth. This makes them incredibly difficult to manipulate in situations where people try to bind them with a sense of indebtedness. Let's face it, Most people find it hard to decline when someone does them a favor or offers a compliment. There's an awkward internal debate about whether or not to return the favor, often leading to a kind of social dance where both parties try to even things out. The Sigma male, however, isn't playing that game. He doesn't get bogged down by guilt, nor does he feel a need to uphold some imaginary social balance. If he doesn't feel like responding to a favor or compliment in kind, he'll simply say, "Thanks, but I'm good," and move on. No drama, no guilt. Just a straightforward acknowledgement that he doesn't need to repay anything to anyone. This makes him resistant to emotional manipulation, because he can't be trapped in the cycle of obligation that most people find themselves in. Whether it's a favor or a gift, he sees it for what it is, and doesn't feel the need to return it just because it's expected. He lives by his own terms, and that makes him unshakably independent. Number 2, the gray rock technique comes naturally. Sigma males are like the human equivalent of a gray rock, unremarkable, low-key, and hard to stir. And no, this isn't about being boring or passive. It's about having the ability to blend into the background at will, avoiding attention, and keeping a low profile when it suits them. They don't need to be the center of attention, and they certainly don't crave emotional drama. So when someone tries to provoke or manipulate them, they become the perfect neutral presence, unaffected, unbothered, and impossible to rile up. This is what's known as the gray rock technique, and for Sigma males, it's second nature. When people with emotional baggage or attention-seeking tendencies come their way, the Sigma male simply gives them nothing to work with. While others might get sucked into an emotional exchange, offering reactions, support, or engagement, the Sigma male doesn't bite. He doesn't escalate things or feed the drama. Instead, he just becomes a blank slate, polite but distant, neutral and unmoved. If someone is fishing for a reaction, they'll quickly realize that the Sigma male is more like a rock than a live wire. This ability to remain neutral and disengaged makes them almost impossible to manipulate or provoke. Emotional vampires can't drain them because there's no emotional reaction to feed off. It's like trying to argue with a stone. And the best part? It's not that the Sigma male is trying to be elusive or cold. It's just that he doesn't have the energy to engage in unnecessary emotional warfare. He doesn't need to react to everything, and this calm detachment makes him an unappealing target for anyone trying to stir the pot or control him. In short, Sigma males don't just avoid drama, they become invisible to it. And that's exactly what keeps them unshakable. Number 1, fluent in nonconformist communication. Sigma. Males have a special talent when it comes to communication. It's the art of saying a lot with very little. While alpha males might storm into a room and dominate with loud confidence, the Sigma male quietly disrupts the usual power dynamics. He doesn't need to raise his voice or make grand speeches to get his point across. His style is calm, measured, and straight to the point. And that's exactly what makes him so tough to deal with. When someone tries to intimidate or dominate a Sigma male, they often hit a wall. It's not that he's passive or avoids confrontation. It's just that he's not easily rattled. Sigma males don't play the game of escalating tension or trading barbs. Instead, they respond with a quiet assertiveness that leaves people unsure of how to proceed. It's like trying to push a button that isn't there. They don't engage in power struggles. They simply bypass them. This ability to communicate without showing all their cards is what makes them so effective in difficult situations. They don't need to assert dominance verbally because they know they don't have to prove anything. They'll calmly listen, think, and respond in a way that cuts through the noise. This confuses people who expect a more traditional confrontational response. When someone tries to raise their voice or push their agenda, the Sigma male just leans back, gives them a few words, and leaves them wondering why they ever thought they could control him. It's this quiet, nonconformist communication that makes Sigma males impossible to push around. They disrupt the typical power dynamics by not playing by the usual rules, and that's exactly what makes them so unshakable. As we wrap up, in a world full of noise, trends, and social pressure, Sigma males stand out as the quiet rebels who march to the beat of their own drum. They don't crave validation. They don't play by the usual rules, and they certainly don't bow down to anyone's expectations. They are the masters of independence, the architects of their own lives, and the ones who stay calm and focused when everyone else is running around in circles. Being a Sigma male isn't about trying to be the most powerful person in the room. It's about being the person who doesn't need to prove anything to anyone. It's about having the self-assurance to walk your own path, even if that means standing alone. They are people who have learned the art of saying no without guilt, of refusing to be swept up in the latest social cause or trend just because it's popular. They don't need the crowd's approval, and they certainly don't play into anyone's emotional games. So if you're a Sigma male, embrace your strength in silence. Don't be afraid to stand apart from the crowd. Recognize that your ability to remain unaffected by peer pressure, your selective engagement, and your refusal to be controlled by others' egos or expectations is what gives you power. You don't have to shout to be heard. You simply need to show up as your authentic self, grounded and steady. You are unshakable because you've learned to trust yourself more than anyone else's opinions. In the end, Sigma males are not pushovers because they know their worth and aren't afraid to walk their own path, even if it means going against the grain. You're the quiet force, the one who sees through the noise and stays true to what really matters. Keep being you, because that's more than enough. Thank you, gents, for tuning in, and God bless.